Now, there's a lot of ways to examine and look at quality scores to improve them within analysis. So first, go to your quality score overview. Now here we can click to view our past year of history, see our subfactor movement. But what we're often looking at is where do our impressions sit by quality score initially? So are most of my impressions at high numbers? Are they at low numbers? Because if they're mostly high, right, then we're going to see some very high subfactors, and we may be looking at very pinpoint areas of improvement. If a lot of them are low, then we're probably going to do some larger changes to the account and a deeper analysis. Then we often want to look at what is our CTR at quality score ranges. This kind of gives us an idea of what CTRs we need to hit to see some big movement in quality score from our expected CTR rate and a little bit on the ad relevance. So then next, we want to get this initial idea, and we're going to come back to this in a second. We want to see, when we look at our ad group count by quality score, is it a lot of ad groups that are low or just a very few that are low? If it's very few that are low, then we're going to jump right to those ad groups, or we put those ad groups in priority order of which ones to really dig into. If we see it's a lot of ad groups that are low, then we're going to think a lot more critically about how everything sits. So if we see that the overall problems we're running into are landing page experience, we're going to go to our landing pages. We are going to look specifically at how many keywords are below average by landing page. And if you have an alert, that means over half the impressions for that page are coming from keywords with below average landing page scores. So we're now going to go look at these. We're going to look at the ones that are below average and look for commonalities in them. And we can download this data if we want to do a deeper analysis. We're going to look at the ones that are doing well. We're going to see the commonalities of what's poor. Now then, once we have this list, right, of words that are doing poor, that are not related at all to ones that are doing well, these words often need a different landing page for them. Now that may be you need to go design a new page and then move those keywords to a different ad group using that new landing page, or you may want to move them to just an ad group that uses that landing page that's more appropriate. So then we could go to our keywords, we could look at our landing page experience scores, and then if we want to move a keyword to a different ad group, right, we can move it to that other ad group. So we could just sort by below average landing page experience, or we could filter by it as well, and either move them or move them to a new ad group and create a new ad group for those keywords. When you create a new ad group from keywords, we're going to automatically, right, call it SCAG, and then you can rename it, but that's often a single keyword ad group because you're moving it to a specific ad group for a reason. Then we're going to inherit the ads for you, and then you can overwrite these. You can decide to remove an ad, and then you can move that keyword to this new ad group, and we'll just create the whole thing. So that's often how we look at landing page experience. If we see a lot of below average ad relevance, this is often organization based, where we have keyword and ad combinations that just aren't working very well. So then we can go to our ad groups. We can even filter by places where we have an ad relevance that's below average, apply that, and maybe we only want to see quality scores that are more than 5, so the major issue is ad relevance. So if we want to see if it's more systemic, right, then we can look at all of them. Now we happen to only have one. So what we want to do is drill into those specific ad groups. We want to look at the ad and keyword combinations. Then we may even go back and look at places where our ad relevance is above average, and then look at that keyword and ad combination. Because in this case, we're not getting great CTRs, but we are getting good ad relevance. So there's something nice in combining about those factors. And then if you see for those ad groups where your ad relevance is below average. If we go to the ad group and look at the keywords, if we have some keywords that are above average and others below average, then these are usually in a good place, a good ad group now, and these need to be moved to a new ad group, whether that is a new one you're creating or an existing one with a more relevant ad. Because our ads are not going to satisfy, in most cases, above average and below average ones. Now, you can look at the ones that are average and decide if they need to move or not. We have expected CTR. So when we think about how to raise our CTRs, we're often going to look at some of our multi-ad group testing to see when we use these types of headlines, these types of calls to action and benefits, we get better CTRs. And so by exploring your multi-ad group testing, or just going to your single ad group testing and looking at your worst CTR ads and pausing down, can make a big difference as well on quality scores, because if you have areas where your lowest CTR is the highest impressions, just by pausing down, you'll get a better quality score. So then we look at quality score. Your landing page experience is about creating super fast pages, and we have videos on our blog that go into super detail about landing page experience. It's often getting into landing page experience and ensuring your landing page is answering a user's question who's searching for that keyword and has that information. It's fast and it's relevant. Ad relevance is all about good organization, having ads reflective of the keyword, and then doing ad testing to find the best combinations. Expected click-through rate is all about ad testing. So if we have a good website, then we look at making sure we have nicely broken down ad groups, and then we do ad testing, multi to get insights, and then single to find the absolute best ad. That combination should help increase your quality scores, which then leads to lots of other beneficial items within the account.